Today we have a very special tool. This is the ROLR Tool Company's first offering. This is the M1 Generation 1. This is essentially almost like the Cobra Extra Small pliers, a multi-tool version of that. Fantastic, made in the US, so we will jump into this exciting new tool. Now, I just recently found this tool. Actually, the first time I saw it was on Facebook a couple weeks ago, I guess it was, and I looked into it and immediately I paid for it, got it shipped here, and this just recently arrived this week. So pretty excited about giving a review. I've only seen 2 other videos on YouTube about it. This is pretty new. The company hasn't been around that long with this tool right here. So pretty neat. Now, the owner's name is Shane Johnston, and he is actually where this is made, is made in Duluth, Minnesota. This is all USA made. As far as I know, there's nothing made overseas. So this is a completely USA made tool. And Multitool.org did a pretty nice write-up on both this tool and then the owner. And it talked about how from illustrating and designing, he was more of a drawer than an artist. And he had gone through Gerber, Victorinox, Leatherman, and SOG, and eventually all he wanted was the essential tools that mattered to him, and this is what happened. So this right here is CNC machine from billet stock, no cast, stamped joints, no compromise is what their website says. And the material is 303 stainless steel. This comes in at 4.75 ounces. This tool will come in at 131 grams. There are 2 handle variants, and we'll jump into that a little bit later along with some more specifics. Now, talking about the tool itself, this is CNC machine. You can still see some of the machining marks left on it for design purposes. What we have right here, instead of the sliding mechanism from like Knipex Work Pro, their version, what we have is 2 different slots. So you can use this slot or you can use this slot right here. And then on the handle, you can hold this like so. And then when it's small like that, you can get a pretty good grip. And then on the back right here, it has a lot of texture even on the bottom. Now, I think in a pinch you could use this for light hammering, but if you notice, there is a fair amount of open space right there to keep the weight down, so you could not do extremely heavy hammering with this object. You're able to get a grip on it. Now, for me, I think I would grip more like this right here. Some have said about gripping more like that, but I would grip more like that. Now, Tool Tech Geek just put on his channel that there will be an enclosed ring variant of this going live Friday at 12. And there will, I think, only be like 20 made. And they're releasing it for those of you who would want the full closed ring variant. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to check that out. But yeah, a really neat tool. Now let's check out the other tools. So what we have right here is a bit driver. This is a 1/4-inch bit driver. Now this will be just your standard, not your like Leatherman or double-sided bit driver. It's just your standard. And then it's held in here with these magnets. And then on the other side is a pry tool, which is pretty neat as well. Really like those 2 choices. Pretty neat. I can see me using this as a large flat screwdriver for some bolts, especially in the HVAC world, some nuts or whatever that you have to use, like to open the panels, you have to use a fairly large flat screwdriver. So I could see that being useful for that. I really like this tool. It's very minimalist. I do want to compare it against the Knipex. This is the 5-inch version, so it will pretty much be like the 5-inch version size, a little bit smaller, but not by much. And then this is the Work Pro version. This is the one that I modded with the Next Tool handles. And after I modded it, you can see it pretty much, yeah, it's right sort of in the middle, actually, between these two. Now, let's talk about some of the downsides. Now, there's not a huge amount of downsides. This is made in the US. I plan to do a video. I think there is under 10 multi-tools made in the USA anymore, and this is one of them. So this is a very rare tool at the moment. Definitely keep that in mind. But the price, yeah, the price, $120. Whoa, that is pricey. So essentially, this right here will cost pretty similar to the cost of a Leatherman Wave. I think that will discourage a lot of people from buying it. I went ahead and bought it for the channel. If I hadn't been running a YouTube channel, I don't think I would have purchased this. And I'm very glad that I had the chance to buy this. It also, there's a fairly large wait time. 4 weeks is what they advertised. Now mine, I think, came in about 2 weeks. It was actually pretty quick. But there is up to a 4-week wait time. And then this is a new company, so there's not much in the way of warranty. They say they will try to fix things if they break, but there's no guarantee, there's no refunds. This is a company that's pretty much starting out. This is their first tool that they're making, and so there definitely will be some growing pains. Now, the other thing that is a little bit of a negative for me is this right here. Not only is this right here non-locking, and I guess it's fine to have it like this, but if you move it, it's just a little bit awkward where the bit driver is placed. I think the bit driver is one of my, well, it is one of my most used tools, and I feel like this one actually should have almost mounted at the bottom and then swung outward. I don't know if that's even possible, but something like that seems like it might have made a little bit more sense. And then you could have used it like this. I don't know, just on the side, you can use it like a T-handle. I guess the thinking was that way you didn't have to worry about a locking mechanism. So I do understand that part, but even with this, not so much, because this is like a pry tool, but I still feel like it's a little bit awkward using it with no locking system, just sort of in the half, or not in the half, but in the middle of this tool. Now, the other thing is it's a little unfortunate that you cannot use Leatherman double-sided bits because this is not closed. I understand they're trying to make weight saving cost, and they're trying to make sure that this tool right here is as pocketable as it can. But unfortunately, when you leave this open-ended like that, then the Leatherman bits cannot seat against this wall. So yeah, you're stuck with just regular 1/4-inch bits, which is fine, but that is another, not really maybe negative, but it's a disappointment. Now, if you are interested in the handle that has the enclosed instead of the half circle right here, the full circle for you to put your finger in, you can possibly in the future get a half of a plier to fix that. They do potentially sell them for $50 extra. Now they are out of stock right now, but you can actually get an extra arm, replacement arm, on their website. They sell those for around $50 if you want that as a backup. Then I guess you would have to take this apart and install your extra arm. I really haven't looked into that, how you would even do that, but I'm sure the owner would be willing to give you some pointers and ideas how to do that. This is a really neat tool, even with a couple of its downsides. No tool will be perfect, I realize that. I really think they have something right here. Again, this is their first tool, their first generation, and it sounds like if everything goes well, they may potentially make some even better tools in the future. Now, I think this is a fantastic start. Pretty excited about what new things they will come up with, or he will come up with. And yeah, really neat tool. And I'm shocked that I didn't see this sooner, but so glad that I was able to get my hands on this.